Glad to have you on our Mind the Moment session for Tuesday mornings, brought to you by Harvard Pilgrim Healthcare and Tufts Health Plan. This is a place where we invite experienced mindfulness instructors to speak with us about what mindfulness means to them and to process as a community how we can incorporate these practices into our daily lives. I'm Suzanne Rowe, Palacino, and I'm very, very happy to be here this morning with Christine O'Shaughnessy, who is a meditation teacher and longtime meditator. So nice to have you here this morning, Christine.
Thank you, Suzanne. Happy to be here.
Yeah, it's so great to have everyone and see everyone joining this morning. So today we'll start off with a question for the group, as we always do, and then have a little discussion. Christine will share some thoughts with us, and then we'll have some time for questions and answers we'll meditate and then have time for questions and answers at the end. So if you go to the bottom of your screen and you notice the chat function, if you just click on that, and you can have the opportunity to click on the blue drop-down menu at the bottom, which you can click on everyone, and that will give you a chance to see all the comments coming in as people type them. So that is just about it for the kickoff here. And Christine, what would you like to start us off with this morning?
So I'm going to start with the question, what are you holding on to in terms of a mind state? When we look at these past 2 years, there's been so much suffering and loss and things that are out of our control. So it's asking yourself, what are you holding on to in terms of how your mind is handling this? And I'm going to just share a quote that might help. And this is from Ron Gerhart, who's a CIMC, Cambridge Insight Meditation teacher instructor. He says, if we cannot control something, then it's wise to surrender to the experience as it is. When we have pleasant states, we enjoy them, but we don't cling to them. When we have unpleasant states, we don't push them away. We open fully to the 10,000 joys and sorrows of life, realizing they are all subject to change. So when you reflect on that, again, what is it you're holding on to in terms of maybe an unpleasant state of mind, a pleasant state of mind?
Yeah, go ahead and type some thoughts into the chat, and we can process that. It's hard to choose one. So I would say, Christine and I were speaking this morning. I am holding on to hope. I was mentioning someone on Twitter was saying that we just crossed that line where the sun is rising now before 7 a.m. and we are now enjoying 10 hours of daylight. And I thought, well, that's what I need to hear. That's what I need to hear. So that's what I'm feeling right now is hope. And how about you, Christine?
Yes, it's, and as we were talking this morning, I'm holding on to a little bit of grief, a little bit of sadness of events that have happened through these 2 years. But I too hold out hope. And what I'm cultivating in my daily practice every day that I sit is I cultivate joy. So it's moving towards that mind state of cultivating that which is good and wholesome. Recognizing all these other mind states and situations might be there, honoring them, feeling them, but turning to joy, to hope.
Yeah, I guess it's true. What we incline the mind to do starts to happen.
Yes.
I was thinking back to Greg Tapakian spoke about sympathetic joy a couple weeks ago, and how even when we are not in the mode to feel joy, we can feel someone else's joy, and that can help our mind incline that in that way.
Yeah.
So folks are sharing here, believing things will be better. Yeah. Needing change, feeling unmoored, also finding joy in little moments.
Yeah. And the unmoored. That's a good one.
Yeah, it is a great way to describe it. And making a point to reach out to friends and family. Yeah, it's amazing how Zoom has changed our lives from that standpoint. Um, I've connected with people that I haven't seen for 20 years. So
Oh, that's great.
one of those benefits of being forced to change our lifestyles a bit. So
Yeah, it's great.
hmm, yeah, interesting. We're all coming from different places here. Fantasy of reconnecting. Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you for those thoughts. Hmm.
Mm.
I guess we sit with that and see how things go forward. Missed the question, and maybe Christine, you can.
Yep. It's what are we holding on to in terms of our mind states? And it may be around just what we're holding on to from these 2 years, honoring, just the loss of things not being the way they are, sadness, grief, just taking opportunity to honor the depth of it.
Mm. Well, thank you for that question, Christine.
You're welcome. All right. So today I thought we'd do a practice on this and just taking a moment to touch in to that which we may be holding at bay and recognizing unpleasant states of mind, pleasant states of mind, but honoring that when we can hold these experiences in our container, this physical container, and the emotions around it, we witness them and we allow them to rise up and then gently burn away. So it's the image my teachers use of a forest fire. And, a forest fire, when it's contained, it eventually burns itself out. But if we keep fueling it, it will rage. So, where are we fueling these mind states and we keep this suffering going? And how do we incline the mind towards right thought, wholesome thought, while still honoring what we feel, but knowing when that fire may be burning out of control and we have to take good care of it and start to cultivate something more wholesome. Another analogy that's used in some of these teachings is like an elephant when it's stuck in the mud and its tusks are buried in. This 10 ton pound animal has to lift itself up and pull itself out of the mud. And sometimes that's how we feel as human beings, right? We have to lift ourselves up out of the mud. So this practice is going in, touching in with some of that deep stuff that we might have surfacing, and then pulling ourselves up out of the mud, coming back into the light, into these wholesome qualities of being. All right, so we're going to begin. Getting comfortable in your seat, and I welcome you to stand if you'd like to stand for the practice. Adopt a posture that feels supportive for you today. And then begin to just arrive in the space that you're in, letting your body settle, feeling your feet connecting to the floor, and taking on a posture of involvement. Just feeling a natural uplifted quality in the spine, in the heart. And turning towards the breath, taking just a few deep breaths as you breathe in through your nose and exhale through the mouth. Breathing in through the nose and exhaling through your mouth. And breathing in a little bit deeper, inviting the breath into the body. And as you exhale, lengthening your exhale, releasing, relaxing, and letting go. Beginning to connect with the cycle of your breath. Feeling the breath coming in and exhaling, lengthening the exhale. And then releasing that deep breathing technique and begin to just let your breath be as it is, connecting to your natural breathing rhythm. And taking a moment to feel the weight of your body, feeling this sense of gravity in the body, this downward pulling weight. Notice the heaviness of your arms and legs, allowing them to be at peace. Feeling your jaw begin to soften, releasing any straining or holding around the eyes. And then turning towards a touch point in the body, just feeling your hands connecting to a surface. You may notice the tips of your fingers, sensations in the palm of your hand. And again, turning towards the feet, just feel the feet connecting to the floor, noticing the temperature of the feet, feeling the tips of the toes. And then bringing your attention to your lips and notice where your lips meet, feeling sensations there. Notice if the lips are gripping or are they soft. And then gently inviting your attention to turn in towards the center line of your body. Just feeling that midline, you may feel it as your spine. See if you can just notice your breath softly moving up and down the center line. And take a moment to just be willing to meet whatever is arising as you gently breathe in and out. Allowing your attention to stay rooted in the meditation object of your choice, maybe your breath, a touch point like your hands or feet, gravity, or the sense of the midline of your body. And then honoring and exploring that which you might be holding on to through these past 2 years, a mind state. It may be this sense of loss around expectations, the inability to connect, share experiences with others in the same way. There may be some grief or sadness. Take a moment to just allow whatever is present to be there. And notice where you're feeling this sense of mind state or belief. You may feel it as hollowness in your stomach, tightness in the heart or chest, a dry mouth, low energy, a sense of weakness, fatigue. Or you may notice it as pressure or pulsing or vibration. And your breath is a powerful antidote to whatever conditions arriving. Notice how your breath is. Is it shallow, or deep, rapid or slow. You may even notice you feel like you haven't taken a deep breath since the pandemic began. And this shallow breathing can keep our body in a state of fight or flight. See if you can widen your scope of awareness to beyond the story you're telling yourself to your whole experience. What physical sensations are you sensing in the body? Allowing the storyline to be and turn to what's more wholesome. The body, sensations, appreciation for this moment, this breath. And inviting the body and mind to relax any areas of tightness, holding, loss. And then gently returning to your meditation object, connecting to the stillness within. And notice when the mind moves into thoughts about all that is wrong, these unwholesome qualities. We can see the harm in following those thoughts. And these thoughts have causes and conditions, but we have the opportunity to transform them. We don't have to feed them. And they don't have power over us if we don't follow them. Notice what you're feeding and nurturing in your mind and body, and skillfully turn your attention to what's wholesome. Gratitude, kindness, appreciative joy. It may be helpful to incorporate a phrase, may I be kind to myself in this moment. May I rest in the ease of this next breath coming in and going out. Staying connected to the somatic responses in the body as you sit with what is. So we're allowing the mind not to follow the same old patterns, but root to cultivating ease. There will always be obstacles on our path. Our role as practitioners is we find our way around this, and we come back to the steadiness of heart and mind, equanimity. May I have a heart filled with equanimity, steadiness, ease, clear knowing, clear seeing. Breathing in and breathing out. And then beginning to gently come back to this felt sense awareness of the body, feeling your feet connecting to a surface. Feeling the weight of your whole body. Feeling the space all around you. Noticing sound. And letting your mind turn towards tracking the sound of bells all the way to the end. If your mind moves into thought, gently invite it to return to the sound of the bells. And when you're ready, gently allowing your eyes to open if they were closed. And gazing beyond the screen, just taking in the room around you, stretching in whatever way you would like. If you have a window and you can just gaze outside at nature for a moment, that would be beneficial. And welcome back. I hope that was supportive, beneficial.
It was very lovely. Thank you so much, Christine.
You're welcome.
I have to compliment you on the bowl that you're ringing. Boy, is that just I could just listen to that for hours. Oh,
Me too. I love it. It's actually from an app. It's a heart bowl, all about radiating the sound of the heart.
oh, it's an app.
It's an app.
So you
Yes.
used your phone on, yeah,
Yes.
it sounds lovely.
It's, yeah. It's I-QI. IG clock. You can use it as an alarm clock.
Mm,
You can use it as a meditation timer. And I
thank
use the heart one. You're welcome.
you. Yeah, that
Downloading now. Oh, great.
um, I I really connected to what you were saying about the forest fire. Um,
That is from my teaching, some of the monastics I sit with. they had their monastery, almost parts of it burned down from the fires in California.
Mm.
And that's one of their direct teachings, is using that in life, that we have this fire that just rages within us. But if we can actually hold it in our container and witness it and allow it to be there very gently with the right tools, right? We don't want to create undue suffering of strong emotions, but being able to let it burn out. And then we're freed from some of these old conditioned ways of being that get comfortable, just like putting on the same comfy pair of jeans every day. We just get stuck sometimes in these emotions, sadness, grief, loss, the pandemic. And we have to remind ourselves, right, to come up and out of it.
Mm. Mm. Yeah. Wonderful, wonderful teaching. Thank you so much for being with us this morning, Christine. Yeah, I think there's a lot to be said about what you've mentioned here, and I think there's some wonderful things that we can leave with in relation to how to work with some of these things that we hold on to. So,
Yes, yes. And just keep cultivating to what's wholesome and good. Every day, just set your intention. What do you want your mind to root towards? It's a choice. But it
yeah.
takes a lot of effort and a lot of skill to turn the mind away from some of these really sticky mind states.
Yeah. And we were also speaking earlier about every day the sun comes up. There's darkness at night, but every day the sun comes up. So there's, we can turn to just the basic things in life to remind us that there are some different mind states to be cultivating. So thank you for that.
You're welcome.
So we will hopefully see you tomorrow. I wanted to remind everyone that there is a Wednesday morning session that I'll be leading, and I'm going to put into the chat the link for that. But everyone is welcome. That is a Zoom meeting format, so we've really enjoyed seeing one another on screen, and camera's optional. So that's at 8:30 tomorrow morning. So hopefully you can join us this tomorrow morning. We've got a wonderful group. And thank you to the Tuesday morning group for being with us this morning. So hope to see you either on Wednesday or even Thursday morning, now that we have 3 days that we can be together. So have a good day to everyone, and thank you for joining. We'll see you soon.
Thank you, everyone.